Hi, this is a introduction to Linux commands which is useful for the Raspberry Pi Linux and Unix. I'm using Debian for this, running using VirtualBox. So take you straight to the shell and let's make a start. First of all, where am I? Print working directory. That tells you the directory that I'm in. What files do I have? That shows you a listing of the files and or directories that I have. The directories are in blue. I can find that quite easily by just getting a bit more information. So that will put the / in front after the directories, but not after files. That's a nice quick way of seeing. And a listing, a lengthy listing or long listing, will show you a lot more details. This is the permission block, including the file type at the beginning, D for directory and blank for ordinary file. S is normally used for special file or socket. And then you have permissions set in 3 blocks for the owner or the user, a group, and world, all others. So user group world or owner group world. These 3, read, write, execute, read, write, execute, read, write, execute. That means write is not set for the group and the everyone else, but it is for the owner, and the owner's here. Okay, and in this case there's just read and write. The reason you've got execute and directories is because you have to change to the directory, so you're running it, but that more on that in a future video. So you've got different ls. You've got ls-a to show hidden files as well. That includes the dot and the dot, which are aliases to the previous directory and the current directory. I'll show you that actually. If you do ls-I, you'll see the inodes. To ls-ai, you see the inodes of the current directory and the previous directory. Okay, so if I go back to look at the inodes, I don't need a. In that case, I'll just do I. pwd, where am I? Home eagles. You'll see 262.516 there, which equates to the current directory dot here, and the previous directory 138.824. So if I go back and do ls-ai, you'll see that home is 138.824, which is what the previous directory was. These are aliases. Now if I want to go back to my home directory, I can just use cd. There I am. Let's go back again. I can actually go back to using the little tilde, which means home directory as well. There I am. And you can go back like this as well. There I am, back, and then just cd to go back to your main directory. So lots of directory stuff there. Now then, I can go into documents by typing doc tab, or D, depends on how many directories there are starting with the same letters. There's a file in there. Now here's a couple of things that I can do. I can make a directory, test dir. So I have a test directory, nothing in it. Let's go into it, test dir, and that's empty. And I can make some files and do a few things in there. So that's what I'm going to do now. Then I'll remove them, and then I'll show you something on processes as well. Let's make a file. We can make a file by echo. This is a test, and filtering it to a file 1. There it is. We can do that again. And we can put it into, this is a test 2, and we can do the same thing. There you go, you have 3 files. Let's have a look. There they all are, pretty much the same. Okay, a couple of little commands you can do now. So if these were programs that you were working on, a couple of people had been working on these files, you'd see that's the difference. There's a difference between those files. There you go. So sorry, I didn't mean to have all of those. So that's showing you that those lines have differences on them. So diff is a useful command. Like I said, if you're working on multiple codes, you can use the diff to compare files. You can also join all files together. Sorry, file 1, file 2 and file 3 by using the cat command. You can display them on the screen like that, or you can filter those into a, let's just call it file cat, and then do ls. And there's file cat, and do more to display a file contents. As you can see, it's got the same contents of all of them. You can do more star, they're all there. You can do page to look in all the files, or you can just do cat star, and that will just display them all on the screen. So it depends what you need really, but the cat command is very useful in scripts. I'll look at the inodes as well, because they've all got a unique inode here. That means that's a unique file. -I, same thing for the test directory. So you'll see 263.255.4, sorry. Let's go back into test dir and do that again. ls minus AI, ls minus AIL will give you lengthy listing with all files and the inode number. Now let's go back and do that again, and you'll see test dir 263.254 is the same as the dot when you're in that directory, so it's an alias. Now you can look up how to make a symbolic link, because that is really useful to make links between files, because that's how it's done for the dot. Symbolic links are making files that link to other files. We will do that a bit later on as well. It's a little bit too much to do right now. Back into the directory, caps lock, that's a good point. Commands are case sensitive, you can't use that one. So to remove a file, let's remove file 2. There you go, all gone. Now if you want to remove all of that, you can actually say rm-r test, so remove the folder and everything in it. Okay, so that's quite dangerous because it didn't prompt me or anything. Alright, so what you might want to do before you start doing recursive deletes is rm-i before you actually get rid of something. Do you want to remove that? Yes. No. I is a lot safer. Okay, so that's file stuff. Now I'm going to do processes. What's running in the shell? Well, in my shell, which is the parent process, I've only got my shell interpreter, which works out what I want to do, and this command, the ps command, and these are the process IDs. That's all I've got running. But on the system, there's a lot more. Now I'm going to run ps-ef, but it's long. So to stop it and hold it, you can pipe it to more. Pipe the output of ps-ef as input into the more command, and that will let you press the space bar to look through it again. And when you're looking through it, you'll see that there's 4 Apaches on there. I just want to look at Apache, so what you can do is ps-ef, every process full listing, use a search utility called grep, and just choose Apache. And there we go. In fact, let me clear that and run that again. Alright, and that's it. So you'll see there, I have a process listing of every process and a full listing. It's a bit like AL for LSAL. That's going to give me an output, and I'm piping, using a pipe, to take the output and make it input to this function here, which is only going to pick out anything that has Apache in it. There's 4 processes. The first one is owned by the root user, and its process ID is 758, and its parent process is 1. These 3 are running by WWW data. They have their own unique ID, but they have the parent 758. If you've got processes running that are not working well, you can kill them. So you kill 758. I'm not going to. What that does is it sends a signal to the process. Now if you use kill on its own, that will send the signal to process 758, allowing that process to capture that signal and then say, oh dear, I must close off the child processes and close all the files and clean up the memory and everything else. But if you use this command, which lots of people do, you're sending off a different signal, okay, which is sig kill. Now that signal cannot be caught. So if you send sig kill by using -9 to kill off that, it will end up leaving these things hanging with no parent process. Okay, it'll lose, the parent won't be there. They'll be called orphaned process, and that is the correct name. But what happens is this one, which is the init process, comes along and again, another correct terminology, it adopts them and then obviously kills them off. But everything's done a lot cleaner, and this is all called graceful degradation of processes. So you basically want to avoid just going around killing things, alright, killing processes without really understanding what it is you're doing. And there's man pages on the kill command, kill all processes that you can kill using that command. There's lots of examples on that. And okay, you've noticed I've used the clear command a lot. That's quite useful. mkdir to make a directory, cd to change a directory, ls and the variations like al or il or l to list the contents of a directory, cd ... to go back, cd on its own to go to your home, rm and the file name, remove a file, rm-r to remove the directory and everything within it, ps to get process listing. And hopefully that's given you a little introduction to some basic Unix commands. So wish you well getting started with Unix.